Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's certainly a pleasure to be here. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share with you a little bit about some of the projects and initiatives that are going on in the city. As always, I certainly want to thank the Chamber and Janie for this opportunity. Well, Wadsworth continues to be a healthy and vibrant community. Existing and new businesses and entities are investing over $56 million in 14 capital projects in this past year. The largest investment is one that's very familiar to all of us. The schools are building their new intermediate school. Other larger projects include Sheets, which is an $8 million investment, J.C. Whitlam Manufacturing or constructing a $3.8 million additional facility, Bueller's Food Market, a $3.5 million remodel. Other significant investments are being made by the Animal Clinic on West Street, Quick Med, Urgent Care in Wadsworth Crossings, and Yoder Graphics on Seville Road. Wadsworth has enjoyed the addition of multiple new businesses this past year as well, each which are finding their own niche in the community. Pictured are several of the 10 new businesses that opened this past year and a couple that are going to be opening soon. We certainly appreciate each business and the investment and commitment they have made to adding vitality to the community. To enhance the vibrancy and enjoyment of the downtown, the city successfully executed and implemented the designated outdoor refreshment area, more commonly known as the DORA. And of course, this is in our downtown area. There was a great deal of research and behind-the-scene planning, communication, and logistics. This was led by our economic development team of Tom Morris and Eitan Anderson. The implementation of the DORA has been quite successful and has been welcomed by the community, but also our downtown businesses. Wadsworth DORA has now become a model for other communities to follow. I will say we're getting some phone calls about that. Well, 2024 has truly been a year of positioning Wadsworth as the place to do business. Our economic development and engineering departments made a concerted effort to be attentive to development, ensuring our city is a welcoming and efficient environment for businesses while remembering and protecting the small town charm that makes us who we are. One of the most significant changes this year has been the addition of a city engineer that's dedicated to private development. Previously, our city engineer directed efforts for both the public and private development. Recognizing the importance of private development to our community's growth, we made a strategic decision to appoint a dedicated city engineer. This move has streamlined our processes and enhanced our abilities to support developers. It's been a big year for collaboration between engineering and economic development. With input by our development stakeholders as well as support from our city council. Together we simplified our city codes. We introduced a fee structure that was more simple and better for budgeting for our developers. Developed a new regulations to address infrastructure impacts. We updated our riparian setback regulations, and that's watercourse setback regulations. For a more balanced approach for property use and protection, and then guaranteed cashback incentives for our timely plan reviews. I will say our efforts have made a difference. We are trying to demonstrate our commitment to fostering a development-friendly environment while maintaining fairness and sustainability. The development community has been very complimentary of our approach, with several developments that are in process and others are acquiring about parcels that have been vacant for years. 2024 has been a year of projects. The city completes multiple capital projects each year, but the majority of which are infrastructure related. This past year was a little different in that, in addition, there were multiple projects that were more, I would say, public-facing, things that affect our quality of life each and every day. Many of these were park-related. As a city, we had been preparing for and anticipating these improvements for many years. Wearing two hats, Interim Service Director and Safety Director Matt Hiscock took the lead, being joined by Assistant Service Directors Mike Testa and John Bellick, assuring that these projects came to fruition. Multiple departments lended their time and expertise. Additionally, I'd like to thank City Council for their support and for providing funding for these much-needed projects. As I have reported previously, the city is in strong financial position and have been preparing for these meaningful projects for some time. We recently announced that our finance department received the Auditor of State of Ohio Award, and this was for the 9th consecutive year. This remarkable achievement highlights our unwavering commitment to budgetary compliance, financial transparency, and excellence in governance. Out of over 6,000 entities that are audited by the state, only 4% earn this prestigious award, and so maintaining it for 9 years straight is truly exceptional. Community projects are often costly, and they're funded in a variety of ways. We are fortunate to benefit from a variety of funding sources to help make these projects achievable. These sources include city funds that have been saved and set aside for various purposes, debt issuance, donations, and others. We've also benefited from various grants, including state capital appropriation funds and the one-time strategic grant, brownfield grants, and others. We will continue to seek after grants for future phases to some of these projects. So let's talk about some of these projects. The Destination Playground, or now called the Blue Tip Park. The city replaced the aging wood structure, playground structure called Kaleidoscope, with a new destination playground, now called Blue Tip Park, by the community. Designed with input from playground users and consultants, the new playground features distinct areas for different age group users, as well as including accessible elements for those with disabilities. Since its ribbon cutting in September, it quickly became the place to be. With City Council support, the next phases of construction are underway, which include a splash pad, pavilions, restrooms, parking, sidewalks, and roadway improvements, with completion expected late spring. One of the needs that became very apparent through the park master plan process was the need for improved courts, and in particular, the inclusion of pickleball courts. Both Durling and Memorial Parks had existing tennis courts. In the general area of where they are located, Durling now has 2 new tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts, and a half basketball court. And Memorial Park has 2 new tennis courts and 2 pickleball courts. I don't know if all of you have gone past them, but they really turned out beautifully. They really are a beautiful sight. And we held ribbon cuttings late August for Durling and then late September at Memorial. I will say they have become the place to be as well. So it's wonderful to see that. Next, we have the Downtown Pocket Park. This new park is located in the empty lot downtown, and I say it's between the Polito Consulting Building and the #1 Chinese restaurant building that has the hair salon building right next to it. So anyways, that empty lot. It is in the last stages of construction. With the majority of the funding coming from state capital appropriation grant, this new area will be a new gathering space as well as a place to enjoy viewing of concerts and events. This space includes casual seating, gas fire pits, and a viewing area for events, and a bi-directional stage. And I'll talk a little bit more about that stage later. Well, tucked immediately behind the new fire station, a new permanent Safety Town Village and 9/11 Memorial was completed. The village features roadways, signs, and miniature buildings, which were sponsored by local businesses and individuals. Its primary sponsor was the Rotary Club of Wadsworth. The 9/11 Memorial includes information displays, walkways lined with purchase engraved pavers, and a piece of the World Trade Center steel, donated by the FDNY. Well, last year I shared that the city started an exciting upgrade to our CityLink services, construction of an all-fiber network. When finished, this ambitious project will provide a fiber connection to every residential address and every commercial business within the city of Wadsworth. It is more than 100 miles of fiber that will be installed during this project. All existing CityLink customers will be converted to fiber when available, and options will include speeds faster than 1 gig. Anticipated construction will likely occur into, I'm going to guess, 27. It's a multi-year project. Of course, all city residences and businesses are encouraged to take advantage of this opportunity. So what's ahead for 2025? Well, I've already mentioned we've got a couple things we need to complete. There's a lot of work to be done in the Memorial Park area. We have a lot of work yet, and we'll be finishing off that pocket park that I had mentioned. But I wanted to mention one other thing that we're looking at for Memorial Park, and it is entitled the E.J. Young Memorial. Well, later this year, design and construction will begin on a public space that's in honor, to honor the importance of E.J. Young and the Ohio Match Company's contribution to Wadsworth. Previous mayor and Wadsworth historian Caesar Carino initially proposed the idea to recognize Young, one of the founding fathers of the 4 Ohio companies. The aim is to establish a public space to celebrate E.J. Young's legacy and significant impact to the Ohio Match Company on Wadsworth. Thanks to Young's vision and entrepreneurial spirit, he laid the foundation to transform Wadsworth from a declining coal mining town into a thriving community as it is today. The space is set to be completed to align with the city's participation in the 250th anniversary celebration of our country's independence in 2026. Also looking ahead, want to mention that extensive improvement is planned for the Freed Park this year. And Freed Park, if you're not familiar, it's the park that's just right off of Leatherman Road. The design and construction of a turf field with lighting is planned. And this will allow for much greater usage and longer hours and be able to use the field longer. The field replaces one that was lost at Memorial Park and will be used for softball and youth baseball. Additionally, it's anticipated that the turf field would have a large enough outfield and portion of the infield to allow for regulation lacrosse use, as well as for Wadsworth Youth Lacrosse. The parking lot will be repaired and will be improved, a restroom will be added, and basketball court will be updated, and we will be utilizing, for a portion of the funding, an ODNR grant that we have. Also, we are going to be doing some design work that will be done to 2 of our additional existing parks, Valley View as well as Weatherstone. And we will also be utilizing some state capital budget dollars to contribute towards that funding as well. As mentioned last year, in 2023, the city purchased 207-acre property for recreational use. The property, known as the Brickyard, is located in the southern area of the community and at one time was the location of the Ohio Brick and Tile Company. The southern half of the acreage has changes in elevation and is best suited for trails and hiking and biking through open areas and woods. The property also has 3 ponds for fishing. The northern half is fairly flat, where the brick manufacturing took place, and it's anticipated that that area will accommodate new athletic facilities, including ball fields, multi-purpose field area, a walking loop, and play area, as well as other features. The Phase 2 environmental assessments were recently completed for that area. A schematic design was produced previously to provide an idea of what could be accomplished on the acreage, and this year the city will have the actual design work done on this much-needed multi-year project. The city is appreciative to Representative Sharon Ray, as well as Senator Mark Romanchuk, for their support of this project and their help to secure $2.5 million of state one-time strategic community investment funds. So other projects for this year, focusing on our downtown. One is the Southwest Parking Lot Initiative. With the city's acquisition and later demolition of the old Blue Onion Longfellow property, along with the development of the downtown Pocket Park, there is an opportunity to add parking and provide a multi-use space to enhance the southern quadrant of the downtown. The parking lot adjoins the rear side of the Pocket Park. This parking lot is scheduled to be redesigned and constructed this year. It would be used primarily as a parking lot, but also has the potential for other uses. For example, I had mentioned that Pocket Park stage is designed to be bidirectional. So if there is a smaller talent or artist, the performance would be set up to face the park. If the band or artist is larger and it pulls a larger gathering, the setup could be bidirectional and set up facing towards the parking lot. We envision this lot to be used for multiple types of gatherings, and we certainly look forward to it being utilized in that way. The next item to focus on our downtown is a downtown infrastructure project. Wadsworth is not unlike many other Northeast Ohio communities. We are a mature community, over 200 years old. And as a mature community, the city has previously identified the need to repair and replace aging infrastructure in our historic downtown area. The project included rehab and replacement of sanitary sewers, storm sewers, and water lines, some of which were installed approximately 100 years ago. The process was halted in 2020 due to COVID, but it is now time to revisit this important need. As with most construction projects, there will be disruption, but it is time to begin the process again with design and construction documents that are going to be developed starting this year. This is an effort to hopefully avoid emergency repairs or replacements, which would even be more disruptive. Due to the magnitude of the project and the importance of having feedback from the community, the design team will engage residents, businesses, and building owners, council, organizations, Main Street Chamber, to ensure that the project moves forward, the plan aligns with current ambitions of the Wadsworth community. Although this is mainly an infrastructure project, it certainly will be given to, attention will be given to above ground area as well. The streetscape, which is what that would be called, to enhance the downtown, improve walkability and connections to parking amenities, and to improve safety for drivers and pedestrians. Also, being a mature community, our infrastructure and facilities are reaching the age where higher levels of maintenance and replacement are required. As such, another big initiative this year in particular, the city will put a great deal of effort developing, as such, the city put in a great deal of effort developing a 15-year capital improvement plan. And while the city invests each year in its infrastructure, this fiscal year 2025 budget includes significant investments in the water and sewer treatment plants, as well as the collections and distribution systems of these municipal systems. Major investment into this vital infrastructure will continue for years to come. While I focused mainly on economic development activity and projects that are occurring throughout the community, I wanted to highlight that government's primary purpose is the delivery of essential services, with each city department contributing valuable expertise and unwavering dedication. While their diligent work is often behind the scenes, it forms the backbone of our community's high quality of life, and I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every employee and department for their contributions to providing services unmatched for our residents. Thank you. I do have one more thing, if I can find it here. Give me 1 second, because this is an important one. Found it. It's traditional to present the key to the city at this luncheon. Of course, the key to the city is symbolic of civic recognition and gratitude, reserved for individuals whose service to the public is of the highest level of achievement. Many of you may not know this year's Key to the City recipient, but actually, many of you do know him, or at least have seen him. He quietly serves the city of Wadsworth each day, not seeking anything, just wanting to keep Wadsworth the beautiful community that it is. For the past several years, this year's recipient can be seen somewhere in the northern part of the community picking up trash. He does this every day but Sunday, or when it's really, 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 really bad weather. And he also does this for an astounding 2 to 4 hours each day. The boundaries that he set for himself starts at Chase Bank on High Street, goes all the way up to Reimer Road, goes into the woods, east of the Galaxy, the on-ramps, the off-ramps, that whole north end quadrant. He sets a wonderful example for all of us. He has found that as he cleans up his areas, that others want to keep it that way as well. And he's found that he's had to pick up less trash over the years because of that example. Our recipient is a retired Teamster who drove a truck for 37 years, and he wanted a way to make a difference and to keep healthy and active. Sorry about that. This year's Key to the City recipient is Tom Schuster. Well, Tom's going to take a pass as far as his saying anything, but he did mention, he says, when it's my time to go, he says, maybe ask if somebody wants to take my place. And Tom, would you mind if I say how old you are?
83.
83. In August, he'll be 83 years old. So what an amazing example to all of us, but he's out there every single day. So thank you so much. On behalf of the City of Wadsworth, thank you for what you do. We are so grateful to you.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.